Hello, welcome to today's class. Today I want us to discuss area of composite shapes. That's the topic, area of composite shapes. But first, what is the meaning of the word composite shapes? Composite shapes are shapes that we get when we combine two or more plane shapes together. So when you combine two or more plane shapes together, you get what you have, what we call composite shapes. For instance, now if I merge a circle and a rectangle together, that's a composite shape. If I merge two rectangles together, that's going to give a composite shape. So that's what composite shape means. So in this topic, don't expect to see just one shape like a circle or a triangle. No, it's going to be a combination of two or more shapes together. All right. So in this shape, this topic, you need to try to bring out some missing parts of the shape that corresponds to other parts of the shape. You need to divide the shape into the different individual shapes that are found in the big shape. I look at this one here on the board. The question says we should find the area of this shape. Okay, this shape is not a rectangle, it's not a triangle, it's just a combination of two or more. But if you look at this shape closely, you will see that there are two rectangles here. So if you make a cut, from here through this side, you see that you have a rectangle, one rectangle here, and another rectangle. This is, let's say this is small rectangle 1, and this is big rectangle 2. So we need to calculate the area of the two rectangles. But to do that, you need to know the missing side. Because this first rectangle 1, I can know one of the sides is 4 feet. But I don't know the second side. I don't know the second side here. And you know, area of a rectangle, formula for area of a rectangle A is equal to length times breadth. Length times breadth. So here we just know one of the sides, which is 4 feet. So which can be our length. So we don't know the breadth. So since we don't know the breadth, we need to make a trace from the whole shape. Now if you look at this shape, you can see that from the top all through to the bottom is 9 feet. On the left of this shape, from the top to the bottom is 9 feet. Well, on the right, it stops at a point, and from that top to that point is 6 feet. So you can simply make a trace to make a complete shape here. Look at this. So if you make this complete shape, you're going to get something like a complete rectangle. So if you look at your left, you have 9, while on your right, you have 6. What do you add to the 6 to make it 9? That's 9 minus 6. That's 3 feet. So if here is 3 feet on my right, then it means this place is equal to this place, which is also equal to this place. In fact, if I just know here where there's 3 feet, then the middle here, the 3 feet at the middle is very okay. Because for a rectangle, you just need to know 2 of the sides. So I have my 3 feet. This x here is automatically 3 feet. One of the things that you can use to remember this logic is that opposite sides of a rectangle are always the same. So this is our 3 feet here. So for this first rectangle, we have 3 feet by 4 feet. So to find the area of rectangle 1 is going to be the length of rectangle 1 times the breadth of rectangle 1. So area of rectangle 1 now is length 4 times the breadth, which is 3. And all together, area of rectangle 1 will be equal to 12 feet squared. So that's the area of rectangle 1. But remember, this is a composite shape. So we need to get the area of the second rectangle, and then at the end we'll add the two areas together to get the overall area of this composite shape. So now that we're done with shape 1, with part 1 of the shape, let's go to rectangle 2. Now if you look at rectangle 2, one of the sides is known already, which is a 6 feet here on my left, on my right. We know one of the sides already, 6 feet. But this portion, the top and the bottom, this portion at the top and the bottom, we don't know. What I mean by that is this portion here, we don't know. Okay, so how do we identify this portion? If you look below in this box here, there's a 3 feet here. There's a 3 feet here. So if I bring this 3 feet down here, this is 3 feet. So if the width here is 4 feet plus 3 feet, if you add the 4 feet plus 3 feet, this is supposed to give us 7 feet, isn't it? It's supposed to give us 7 feet. So we have 7 feet at the bottom here. So it means all through this rectangle, anywhere you move from left to right, it's going to be 7 feet. So as we're cutting out this portion, like this, it means that the length here is still 7 feet. You see that length here is still 7 feet, and the width is 6 feet. Remember, this 9 feet is a combination of the first rectangle and the second. So now we have cut off the first rectangle, so we have just 6 left. So our area of the second rectangle now will be equal to the area of the second rectangle now. Area of rectangle 2 will be equal to the 7 feet, which is the length, multiplied by the 6 feet, which is the breadth or the width. 7 times 6, 42 feet squared. 42 feet squared. So if you see that, we have been able to dissect this big shape into two, and we have found the area of everything that is there, the two rectangles. So at the end, the area of the whole shape is the addition, is the sum of area of rectangle 1 and that of area of rectangle 2. So we're adding rectangle 1 plus rectangle 2. So that's 12 feet squared. 12 feet squared plus 42 feet squared. 12 feet squared plus 42 feet squared. And 12 plus 42 should give us 54. So the area of the whole shape now, is 54 feet squared. So this is the logic that you use to find area of missing shapes, of composite shapes. You just try to cut out the portions of the shape based on what you see. If it's a triangle, a combination of a triangle and a rectangle, cut off the triangle, find the area, then cut off the rectangle, find the area, then you mesh them at the end, add the areas together to get the overall area of the composite shape. So that's how this thing is done. So we're done with example 1, but this example actually has options. So let's check the option that works with our answer. Option A says 54. Mistakenly, they use centimeters instead of feet. Let's assume that it's centimeters. So the answer is still 54, whether it's centimeter squared or it's feet squared. There's an error in the question, but still the same. 54 is still 54. So that's the answer for that question. That is it. So let's go to the next question. We're still on area of composite shapes. Look at this shape here that looks like an arrow. It's another composite shape. What are the basic shapes that you can see here that are combined to give us this arrow? Pause the video. You can pause the video and try to think about it. What are the shapes that are found in this composite shape? Because remember, I told you that composite shapes are formed from two or more single shapes being merged together. All right. So what I can see here, we need to make a cut again. And let's make this cut through this axis. It's very easy to make this cut through this axis here, from here to here. Because if we do that, we're going to get the shape. And what is the name of this shape? A triangle. There's a triangle here. And look at this 4 centimeters by the side. It's trying to tell you that that's the distance from this line that we've made to the top of the triangle. So the length from here to here is now 4. Why is this very important? This is important because in finding area of a triangle, you need to know what the height is. So there's height there already. Now, what is the second shape that you can find here? A rectangle. Right? This is a rectangle. So if you bring out this triangle that is found in this shape, this is what we're going to have. The height is 4 centimeters. And then what will be the base? Now, if you look at the composite shape, below this rectangle is 5 centimeters. And we know that the opposite sides of a rectangle are the same. They are similar. So it means below the base of this triangle is still going to be 5 centimeters. So that's how we know the base of the triangle, by tracing the opposite sides of this rectangle that is connected to the base of this triangle. So we have 4 centimeters as the height. The height is 4 centimeters for this triangle, but the base is 5 centimeters. That's for the triangle. Now, what of the rectangle? Rectangle, the shape has come out already. You have 6 centimeters as the length by the side, 6 centimeters, and we'll have 5 centimeters as the width here, or the breadth. So now the next thing is you need to now use the formula for area of the triangle to find the area of that triangle, and then you use the formula for area of a rectangle to find the area of this rectangle. Then at the end you add the two areas together to get the overall area of this composite shape. So what's the formula for finding area of a triangle? Again, is the formula for area of a triangle is equal to half 1 over 2. That's 1 over 2 times base of the triangle times the height of the triangle. Some books you can just see base times height over 2. That's still the same as half times base times height. So what is the base of this triangle? 5. So area now is going to be equal to 1 over 2 times 5. What of the height? The height is already given to us to be 4 centimeters. So half times 4 times 5, or half times 5 times 4. Half of 4 is 2. 2 times 5, 10. So the area of the triangle is 10 centimeters squared. 10 centimeters squared. And the next shape we need to calculate there is the rectangle, because we need to add the two to get the overall area. So what's the formula for area of a rectangle? Again, area of a rectangle, the formula for area of a rectangle is length times breadth. Very easy. Very, very easy. So what is the length? Length is the longest side, which is 6 centimeters. 6 centimeters times the breadth. What is the breadth? 5 centimeters. So 6 centimeters times 5 centimeters, that's going to give you what? 6 times 5, what will it give you? To give you 30. 30 centimeters. So centimeter squared, sorry, because area is in squared. It's measured in squared. So now to find the overall area of this beautiful shape, of this shape here, what we need to do is we need to add the area of the triangle to the area of the rectangle. So that is the overall area of the shape now is equal to 10 centimeters squared plus 30 centimeters squared. 10 centimeters squared plus 30 centimeters squared. So when you add the two, what would that give us? That should give us 40. So the overall area of this shape, of this composite shape, is 40 centimeters squared. So let's check the option that goes correctly with the answer, that rhymes with the answer. 50 no, 25 no, 35 no. Best answer option C, 40 squared centimeters or 40 centimeters squared. So you can solve more of these questions on your own once you've understood the logic from this video, that you just need to dissect a big shape into the a big composite shape into the individual smaller shapes, and then find their areas, and at the end you add the shapes together, the areas of the shapes together, to get the overall area of the big shape, of the composite shape. Once you do that, you should always get the answer correctly. So this is where we're going to stop for today's video. We'll continue from here in another class.